Those are Telemundo Internacional. You re-click it, I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, Telemundo, you see those highlights of Menudo. All right, they got tight butts. My parents watch Telemundo all the time, but I mean, I can't even understand them. I mean, they talk so fast, you know. Dito manito de cerca manito, do contra manito de cerca manito, do contra manito de cerca manito. Oye, teléfono. Hola, Cristina. Sí. Oh, cochino puto, cerca manito de contra manito de. Telemundo. I think I do every Telemundo soap opera. You guys seen the soap operas? Those are because the women are very beautiful and they never cry. It's always the men who cry. They got that Telemundo kind of Maria. Maria. Oh, ay ay ay. Oh, ay ay ay. Maria? Maria? Maria. Fernando, mi amigo. Mr. Coochie Coochie. Juanito, cállate. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, María? Juanito. Ay, ay, ay. Fernando. Muy grande. ¿Y tú? Chiquito.
It's weird to be a recovering drug addict. It was weird to be a drug addict, but at least I was on drugs. It's strange sometimes. You know, like, I'm doing great, but when I'm alone, I'm with the person that tried to kill me. Sometimes I walk past a mirror, I'm like, oh great, this fucking guy again, Jesus. That is kind of a creepy feeling sometimes, but it's also a nice feeling. It gives me a strange kind of confidence sometimes. Because, like, look, I used to care what everyone thought about me so much. It was all I cared about. All I cared about was what other people thought of me. And I don't anymore. And I don't because I can honestly say, what is someone going to do to me that's worse than what I would do to myself? What are you going to cancel John Mulaney? I'll kill him. I almost did. I was in a museum in Detroit with my son. I was pushing him in a stroller through this big room where they have all these Diego Rivera murals. And I was explaining to my son, Malcolm, he was about 9 months at the time, how Diego Rivera was brilliant but a communist. And Malcolm was just blowing kisses to inanimate objects and crossing his eyes as he shit his diaper. And I had never been out with him and had to change a diaper alone in public before. So I went up to the museum docent and I said, is there anywhere I can change my baby? And she goes, yeah, it's at the men's room, it'll be fine. I go, okay. And I push him into the men's room, and I walk in there, and I look on the wall. Hello, old friend.
gotta get in shape. Not this shape. It's not a good shape. Something. I gotta get really. I thought I was like, oh, I'm doing an hour special. That'll motivate me, and here we are. Tell me why I gotta get back in shape. I've never been in shape, you know? Like most people, like if I get back to my 20s, I want to go back to 7. If I could get back to when I was 7, I was just killing it. I don't know how to work out. For me, a good workout would be walking to McDonald's would be a great start. You know, maybe stand up and eat it, see if that does something. My friends like want to go lift weights, and they're like, let's lift weights. And I'm like, I don't want to get like too big, you know? That's how far I go. Like, and they're like, well, let's just drive by and see what happens. If you start ballooning up, we'll leave immediately. I ordered the P90X videos. I thought I could do that. Never worked out a day in my life, so let's do what the Navy SEALs do. You know why I ordered it? Because in the commercial, you know they have like a before body and after body? And I was blown away by the before body. I thought that's what you get to look like. I was like, that guy looks great, you know? I would love to look like him. Then I saw the after body. I was like, does the before body guy have a DVD? Because that guy seems more my speed, you know? What did he do to get to that? And I'll just do that. I signed up for a mixed martial arts class. I made it one day. That's all. It was off of Groupon. The Groupon was like mixed martial arts training. It should have said like, hey, do you want to fight a guy you don't know in a room? Because that's what it was. I just go in there. I don't know how to fight, and that's what they do. They just pair me up with some 16-year-old kid that wants to fight for a living and wasn't raised by human people. And they're like, why don't y'all just go at it? And I was like, I think it's because we have different goals. Maybe that's why we should not go at it. I believe he is training for the Hunger Games. I just want you not to be able to see my nipples through my shirt. So let's do levels, you know? If someone gave me an Under Armour shirt to wear, if you ever wore one of those, it's like skin tight. It just shows the worst parts of your body. I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. You know in plastic surgery how they draw markers on you? They should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see what we're going to go after.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
A history of winning started with the 1965 Florida Gators, losing steam and losing sweat in the Florida heat. The solution? A drink that hydrates better than water, with a formula backed by science, so you can work more, sweat more, win more. Gatorade, fueling athletes for 60 years. Is it in you?
You love listening to your favorite artists. And we love listening to you. So let's talk. Click now to take part in our short survey. And you could win a month of gloriously uninterrupted music with Spotify Premium. That means you can enjoy all your favorite artists ad-free. Sound good? Then all you need to do is hit the banner now for your chance to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Gaffigan.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you make me feel only 20 pounds overweight. Oh, look at his beard. He's got quite a beard. He looks like an out-of-shape Civil War general. My dearest Peggy, It has been a fortnight since I've had a salad. I love my beard. You grow a beard and strangers are fascinated. I have strangers come to me, hey, why'd you grow your beard out? I joined Al Qaeda. Don't even joke around about that. But you can ask about facial hair, right? You can't be like, hey, how long you had the man boobs? Are they natural? Now you're looking at my man boobs. To me, they're beautiful. When do I get a Dove commercial? I'm talking about the Dove ice cream bar, which barely cleans your body and is less racist.
I'm raising girls. It's all girls in my house, all girls. Whenever I say I'm raising girls, women always go, oh, it's gonna suck. Wait till they go through puberty, your life is over. Really? Like you want a boy going through puberty with what they do around the house? Where are all our tissues? Why are we going through so many tissues? Why do I only have one sock? Where are my socks? Some hairy golem crawling down the hallway, taking a shower for an hour and a half, coming out all sweaty. Ah! You can have it. I'll take a girl anytime. Love girls. But I know there's a limit. There's a limit to how much I can teach them. At a certain point, I got to just back off because I don't know it, and my wife takes over. Because there's certain things that women know that you only learn from other women. You only share it with other women, and we don't really know it. It's like this weird martial art that makes you so strong and cunning. It's like this lady karate. Very devious. One of your master strokes is making us think that we're the powerful ones. I really thought it for years. Well, the whole game is set up that way, isn't it? I'll ask her on a date. I'll ask her to marry me. I'll give her my name. Oh. And women are very smart. They go along with it. Okay, maybe I'll hyphenate it, but all right. And then she does something one Sunday afternoon, and you realize, oh my God, she could kill me in a second. So much more cunning. Women will get rid of a lifelong friend just from an eye roll at dinner. Did you see how that bitch looked at me? And she's gone. You'll never see her again. Gone, like old-time Russia. Out of the contacts, out of the picture frames, disappears. You know how scary that is to a man? To know that everyone in your life is on a giant roulette wheel of death? And that we're on there too, at 00, just going around? It's not gonna land on me, right? What are the odds? It's a terrifying concept to a man, because we never get rid of our friends ever, ever. Right? You meet a guy in kindergarten, if he's your friend for life. He can be the biggest jackass on the planet, too. He can become an alcoholic, drug addict, rob a liquor store, go to jail, come out 10 years later, come to your house, pee in your pool, hit on your wife. You're like, that's done. He's crazy, right? But you gotta love him, you gotta. Look what he's doing in the mailbox. Hilarious, dude.
The lines at buffets, all-you-can-eat buffets, horribly long lines. I don't understand. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet. And there are lines down the street. Why? You pay when you get in. There's a bunch of food. You go up, you grab the food, you sit down. And repeat the process over and over again. But yet there are horrible lines. People starving to death at the end of the line. Why? I'll tell you why. Skinny people. Skinny people browse. You look at the food. You ask questions. Oh, now look at that over there. That looks good. Now, is that chicken or fish? It's chicken! Grab it, get out of the way! And I'm back there with an empty plate. What's going on up there? Oh, everything looks so good. Well, then why don't you pick something? Grab it, get out of my way! When you're at the buffet, don't be looking. Grab and move. That's what you do. You grab and move, grab and move, grab and move. Keep the line moving. You should see me at the buffet. I'm like a ninja. People don't even see me go up. I don't even know what I got till I get back to the table. Oh, look, they have ribs. I didn't know that. Oh.
In a snacking pickle? Look no further than new, wonderful Pistachios No Shells Dill Pickle. They're a tangy mix of dill, vinegar, salt, and roasted pistachios, and are now available at 7-Eleven and Speedway stores nationwide. Stop by and try this delicious snack today. Available while supplies last at participating 7-Eleven stores.
FedEx Office knows that graduation isn't just another event, it's the event. Whether you need signage to welcome students and their families, or commencement programs, we've got the solutions you need. We'll even handle the installation of large-scale print needs, like banners and graphics, so you can focus on what matters most, celebrating with your students. Request a consultation at office.fedex.com/business-solutions.
Mazda?
Once you discover the Mazda CX-50,
Mazda.
it doesn't take long to get it. With an available turbo engine and off-road drive mode, it's a crossover SUV rugged enough to go well past your expectations. It will have you saying,
Mazda.
The Mazda CX-50. It's made to move you.
Every Mazda SUV offers you an elevated driving experience and refined performance. Discover it at Southern Mazda Newport News.
So I lean in to kiss Jenny, and she says, "Oh, no, thank you." But she agrees to go out with me in New York. We were both living in New York, and she gave me her number, and I typed it in my phone. From that point on, she would be Jen, Irish pub, nice. A few weeks later, I took her out to a restaurant I couldn't afford to show her how much money I could put on my credit card. We're out to dinner, and she says to me, she goes, "Everyone hates me at work." And I said, "Why would they hate you? I love you." She goes, "You love me?" I go, "I mean, you seem cool." I pulled it back. I didn't want to show all my cards. Just about 9 of them. One of the other things that she said of note on this date is she said, "You know, sometimes I'll date 2 people at once, and that way I'm never let down by either person." I said, "That seems like a really smart plan. Like, I'd like to do that as well." And she said, I'm still kind of seeing my ex-boyfriend, John, and you can see other people too, but you have to tell me if you're seeing them." And I was like, "All right, sounds like a plan. Got it. Break." I gotta go find some more people, you know? So a few nights later, I'm in another city and I do a show, and after the show, I went out to a bar and I ended up making out with this random girl. And a few nights later, I'm out to dinner with Jenny, and she says, "How was your trip?" And I said, "It was great. I did some shows." And then one night, I ended up making out with this random girl. And that didn't go over very well. In the conversation, I could sense that something was wrong, and I was like, "But I'm right about that, right? Like, I'm supposed to tell you if that happens, right?" And she says, "Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I won't lose interest in you." And I said, "That's a whole new clause. That's a twist. What is this, a romantic comedy version of The Usual Suspects?" I said, "Are you still seeing John?" And she said, "Sometimes." I said, "Well, don't you see the contradiction in that?" And she says, "Yes." And it gets very quiet because we were falling in love. What, do you want your phone? Hey, V-neck, hey. What's your name? Sam? Cool. What do you do to afford V-neck, Sam? Typing numbers. Ah, numbers, the letters of math. I'm sorry to bother you. I don't mean to single you out. I hate when people get pulled out of the audience. Like, you familiar with this Cirque du Soleil, Sam? They're a group of French assholes that are slowly taking over America by humiliating audience members one by one. We once went to see Cirque du Soleil at Navy Pier when I was a kid, and my brother came, and he was like 12 years old, and you remember being 12, and you're like, no one look at me or I'll kill myself. And these French bastards come into the crowd being like, oh, le volontiers, bibi, quack, 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 quack. And they pulled my brother up on stage, and I was like, no. And they brought him up, and they reached into his sweatshirt, and they were like, hold on a bra. And they had planted a bra, and they pulled out a bra, and they were like, oh, man, no. And everyone in Navy Pier was like, ah, ha, ha, ha. And my brother was like, ha, that's great.
I have to watch what I eat. My cholesterol is about, I think it's 5,218. Something like that. I don't eat well. I like buying donuts. I feel bad for the donut ladies because people can't make up their mind in these places. You think the donut ladies would just snap and start shooting people. Out! Everybody out! Go on. I don't know what it is about buying donuts, but people freak out. They go in there, okay. Looking around, all right, I need a dozen donuts. Oh. You have a lot of donuts. Okay, I'm gonna start with 4 chocolate. I want 2 twisty goos. I want a lemon twitter. I want a raspberry puff. I want a honey curl and no, 2 chocolate. No, one. Put it back. I want a Bavarian apple crunch. Get the ladder. Hey. Why don't you go outside and think it over, huh? It's a big decision. Can't blow donut day. But the donut ladies have learned how to get back at you. They do the subtraction for you in front of the other customers, make you look like an idiot. You go in there, yeah, I'd like a dozen donuts. I'll start with 7 chocolate. You have 5 left. Oh. Okay, if I order 1 more, then how many would I have left? How many would I have then, donut lady? That's what I need to know and now! They have some weird donuts. There are some donuts that I don't understand who thought of them. There's one donut. Have you ever seen this? I've seen it in more than one donut place. It's a donut with frosting all over the top, and there are sprinkles on it, but the sprinkles are just over on one end of the donut. For the life of me, I don't know who's looking for that in a donut. Somebody have that particular of a taste that's what they're looking for? You know, they walk into a donut place, cling, cling, cling. Cling, cling, cling. Okay. I want a donut, and I want frosting all over the top. And I want sprinkles, but not all over. I just want them scrunched over on the edge. You got anything like that? We sure do, freshly baked. We saw you pulling in. It's called our Spring Smidge for lunatics like you.
Picture this. You spend big on your kids' soccer gear, but forgot it's your turn to feed the team. Or you're finally having that housewarming party, but all that furniture you bought didn't leave a huge drinks budget. No one needs that stress. So give yourself a pass with DashPass. With $0 delivery fees, you can afford to do more of what you want. Sign up for DashPass by DoorDash today and get your first 30 days free if you're a new member. Subject to change. Terms apply. $0 delivery on eligible orders. DashPass savings are based on reduction fees. DashPass requires a paid monthly or annual subscription.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
You love listening to your favorite artists, and we love listening to you. So let's talk. Click now to take part in our short survey, and you could win a month of gloriously uninterrupted music with Spotify Premium. That means you can enjoy all your favorite artists ad-free. Sound good? Then all you need to do is hit the banner now for your chance to win.
Lovely weather out there. prefer the cold to hot. I do. I know that's surprising looking at me, given I look like a snowman. But I prefer the cold, you know? Last summer, I was in Las Vegas. It was 114 degrees. 114 degrees. You can actually hear the sun at that point. It didn't feel safe. I was like, are we supposed to be here? 114. Like, you're never at a friend's house, warm in here. Yeah, I set the thermostat to 114. That's how I like it. I'm part lizard. Thermostats don't even go up that high. Meat thermometers do. I think God is just cooking people in Vegas. Oh, I want smoking. I love smoked meat. It was 114 degrees, which was shocking, but not as shocking as how casually Las Vegas residents just went about their day in that heat. It was like, you were like, let's play Frisbee! Time to walk the dog! I was like, get inside! The earth is on fire! Get inside and beg for God's forgiveness! You've obviously angered him! That's why Vegas is called Sin City. It's the same temperature as hell. I have a friend from Vegas. I told him it was 114. He goes, that's nothing. I'm like, no, that's something. That's actually the temperature you boil water at. It's not that bad. Not if you're making ramen. That's our summer. That's not summer. Summer is when you barbecue on a grill, not the sidewalk. It's so weird to be places where summer is the enemy. I was, like, in the Southwest, they talk about summer like it's an ex-lover they never want to see again. We gotta get out of here before summer gets here. Last year, I couldn't leave my house when summer was here. You ever notice that further north you go, the more obsessed people are with summer? Like, in February, I was in Bangor, Maine, and everyone was talking about summer. Everyone I met, they're like, you gotta come back during summer, you gotta come back. Which is a strange way to greet someone. Hi, how are you? Come back later. And it was everyone. Or, you gotta come back during summer, you gotta, yeah, but I'm here now. Just make sure you come back. I didn't want to come the first time. But I love how northern cities sell summer. Like, summer here is unbelievable. It's perfect. For 1/12 of the year, it's ideal. Otherwise, it's a tundra filled with alcoholism and depression. But for those 13 odd days, it's worth it.
It's because your brain, like you have left brain and you have right brain. And one part of your brain is super smart, and the other part is dumb as rocks. And I think that's true, but anything I say up here does not come from a education. This is all stuff I've overheard at Target or Lowe's. So one part of your brain is smart, and the other part is dumb. You can trick your own brain. That's how dumb the dumb part is. It's in the same head. That's embarrassing. It's like, if you're in a bad mood, it's okay to make a smile, and your dumb part will think it's a good thing. I mean, you don't hear the planning going on? Like, you're a part of the plan. That would be like if you were a conjoined twin. You got to a surprise birthday party by the other twin. almost tonight and get all your lights off without any of your help. So 15 minutes go by, I start crying a little bit. I mean, I have a family that depends on me, and I can't make this room dark. I finally left the room and went in the hallway. That's how much I couldn't find it. I thought maybe it's in the hallway. Never found it. It just slept with, I mean, just this much light on my face. To this day, I don't know how to turn that light on. I knew I couldn't ask. You can't just the next morning just be like, hey, how do you turn that main light off in the room? They're like, you don't turn it off? I'm like, no, of course I got it off. How would you, what if like someone was having trouble with it though? Like how would you tell them?
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to the same item, current price and qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how to match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Break a sweat trying to save. Give yourself a pass with DashPass. With $0 delivery fees, you can afford more of what you want. Sign up for DashPass by DoorDash today and get your first 30 days free if you're a new member. Subject to change. Terms apply. $0 delivery on eligible orders. DashPass savings are based on production fees. DashPass requires a paid monthly or annual subscription.
A history of winning started with the 1965 Florida Gators, losing steam and losing sweat in the Florida heat. The solution? A drink that hydrates better than water, with a formula backed by science, so you can work more, sweat more, win more. Gatorade, fueling athletes for 60 years. Is it in you?
They say things are getting better. They say the economy is improving. I don't know, because I don't understand it. Apparently nobody does. Even the people who run it, even the people who report on it have no clue. I don't know what's going on with the economy. You wake up at 9 in the morning, like everything's great. By noon, we're all going down. What did they say? Why? And I try, I read the articles, I'm not an idiot. I read every day about the economy. It's like drinking Jägermeister reading these articles. It's like 2 paragraphs in, I'm just passed out on the kitchen floor. I wake up 6 hours later with no pants on. Who's Dow Jones? I feel weird. Nobody understands it. That's why the whole Occupy Wall Street thing fell on its ass. They didn't even know what they were fighting for. We want it now. All right, what do you want? I don't know. Maybe a tent and a razor for my girlfriend. I don't know. I would pass it all the time with my daughter. We'd be walking through the park. She's like, what's going on? What's this crowd? I was like, well, look, there's a great economic disparity between the really rich and the really poor, and they're protesting against it. She's like, well, what does that mean? I said, that means we have to get really rich really fast and get with the winning team. Or you're going to be playing hacky sack in this park for the rest of your life. My brother-in-law was like, that's not cool, the poor are gonna get you. I'm like, well, they're not gonna get in my gated community, so I don't know how that's gonna happen. I'm not giving them the code, are you giving them the code? Twitter built that movement and Twitter killed that movement, by the way. It worked great for 6 months, it was a good way to organize, and then the cops were like, why aren't we following him on Twitter? And then they started showing up like an hour earlier and would come in the park. How do they know? And I know this is how it ended because I'm a white guy and I could totally walk up to cops in the park and be like, what the hell's going on here? And they have to tell me, it's awesome. Well, you better fix it. We will, sir, we will. It's a good color one to be if you want to mess with a man. It's we don't look that great. We hasty and we burn easy, but the man doesn't really mess with you. Same when I fly. My friends are like, how do you deal with security all the time? You suck. Are you kidding? You should see the look of relief in the TSA's face when I get to the front of the line. They always pull me out for the search. It's not even a search. It's like a meet and greet. We take pictures and exchange phone numbers. I point out all the weirdos behind me who I think might be trouble. I've never seen a hat like that before. I'm just saying. Also, 99%, 1%, that killed that movement too. We don't like to be pit against each other. Also, we don't like to be clumped all together. 99%, we're all the same. Not in this country. No. I was just in Alabama doing shows not long ago, and if you do the math, we're supposed to be part of the same 99%. We are not. You're not either. I mean, maybe we're not rich. We don't eat food with our feet. There should be like a 40% that we can be a part of, you know? You make a little money and spend it on things like shampoo, belts, birth control.
I ran up to the giant glass window. I started pounding on the window like in a romantic comedy. I was like, Drew Barrymore's character, come back! She didn't come back. I missed my flight. I got on the next one. It was a stopover in Texas. You know how I feel about Texas. And I get to Los Angeles late that night. I missed my show. I never missed one of my shows before. I'm so angry. And Jenny's calling me, but I'm not picking up the phone because I'm blaming this entire day on her. I get back to my friend Andy's house and I said, Andy, this relationship is messing up my entire life. And Andy goes, you're right. I go, I know. I'm right. He goes, yeah, you're right. I go, I know. I'm right. I gotta tell her about this in the morning. I drive out of Andy's small road and I T-bone. Culinary way of describing it. 1.5 seconds to spun around. Dead. Wait, paralyzed. Then I hear nothing. Then I hear the other car slow down. 20 minutes later, I'm sitting on the curb. At this point, the police have arrived, as well as my friend Andy, and that's when I start crying. You know how when you drop a baby on the ground, it doesn't start crying right away because it doesn't understand the concept of dropping a baby on the ground until it sees your face. And then it's like, oh, I guess I should be doing something that matches that. I'm crying because I'm looking at my total car in front of me. In that moment, my life ceased to exist. Like I said earlier, I don't really believe in endings. In my mind, that would have been the end of all things I experienced in my life. Every kiss, build kiss, scrambler ride, would come to a conclusion. The opposite. It's what happened. I got hit by this car and I heard nothing and I had to get out and run away. The officer points over to the light, the other car made a right turn at the light, veered into this very same tree. I can't help but think, that's karma. That's a hit and run. And then the officer puts this form in my face and he signs this. Because it means you're okay, then we can leave. It's just science. Which is a very unattractive quality. When someone just repeats a command that you just said no to, and it's unattractive. Very attractive. Andy takes me to the hospital. This is a precaution. I'll get wait 2 hours for the other driver and beat up there. Eventually, we're with the doctor, and Andy says to him, he goes, well, was the other guy drunk? And the doctor says, well, I can't answer that. And Andy says, was he? He uses the technique we had learned earlier. And it works, you know. The doctor says, well, he's heading to jail now. And Andy and I flash each other a look like the Hardy Boys, like case closed. We are hours later, we're back at Andy's house. It's probably around 3:30 in the morning, and I have one of these epiphanies people sometimes have when they have near-death experiences. And I say, I need to call Jenny and tell her that we need to get married. Andy says, Mike, sleep on it. I said, no, this makes perfect sense. And I pick up my phone, I dial her number, and he puts his hand over the phone, and he says, Mike, sleep on it. You see?
A history of winning started with the 1965 Florida Gators, losing steam and losing sweat in the Florida heat. The solution? A drink that hydrates better than water, with a formula backed by science, so you can work more, sweat more, win more. Gatorade, fueling athletes for 60 years. Is it in you?
Some mornings call for a little extra comfort. Introducing Hardee's new home-style breakfast burritos with cheese, fluffy egg, crispy hash browns, breakfast sausage, bacon, and sliced ham in a warm tortilla served with a side of Texas pecan sauce. Home-style breakfast burritos, only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. My road get a free blueberry biscuit or sausage biscuit when you order on the app. Limited time only. Exclusions may apply by time of day. See app for terms.
Picture this. You spent big on your kids' soccer gear, but forgot it's your turn to feed the team. Or you're finally having that housewarming party, but all that furniture you bought didn't leave a huge drinks budget. No one needs that stress. So give yourself a pass with Dash Pass. With $0 delivery fees, you can afford to do more of what you want. Sign up for Dash Pass by DoorDash today and get your first 30 days free if you're a new member. Subject to change, terms apply. $0 delivery on eligible orders. Dash Pass savings are based on reduction fees. Dash Pass requires a paid monthly or annual subscription.
This is so great. Thank you for coming. You're here. That's great. You all showed up. I appreciate it. And then we showed up, so you got to see the things that you paid to see. That's great. You don't always get to see the things that you paid to see. Ever been to the goddamn zoo? Those guys are never where they're supposed to be. Every time I go to the zoo, I'm like, hey, where's the jaguar? And the zoo guy is like, oh, he must be in the inside part. The inside part? Tell him we're here. I love doing stand-up for crowds because this right here, this reminds me of assembly in grade school. And assembly was the only part of school I ever liked. And once you leave school, you don't get to have assembly. This is the closest we get in adult life to assembly. Because look at you all, you're just sitting there in chairs. Looking at a guy with absolutely no expertise who's gonna talk for a while. Although this is different than assembly, because like you bought tickets, you knew this was coming. Assembly, you never knew was coming when you were a kid. You just showed up at 8 a.m. and they were like, put down your stuff. Go to the gym. My God, I guess they're finally gonna kill us all, all right. This is younger than I thought it would be, but we are pretty big assholes. You get to the gym and the whole school is sitting on the floor. You're like, what are we about to graduate from Tuesday? My principal would always come out to kick things off. She'd be like, children, rather than continue to teach you how to read, we have cleared the entire day for this random guy. I used to smoke crack. As you 7 and 8-year-olds probably know, freebasing is the greatest orgasm known to man. But I'm here to tell you there's hope. I've been sober now 2 weeks. Well, weekdays, not weekends. Weekends, that's Nunzio's time. I was once in assembly listening to a guy talk about smoking crack. My social studies teacher yelled at me, goes, sit up straight, show some respect. I was like, he's smoking cocaine. Sit up straight, he's standing on a 45-degree angle. Or as junkies call it, first position. I always got yelled at assembly. That's right, there was always like assembly, and then there was like that second assembly to yell at you for how you behaved at the first assembly. Be like, get in here, sit down, sit down, sit down. I want to talk about what happened yesterday. You're like 8 years old, you're like, what's yesterday? We invite a woman here with homemade puppets to teach you about bullying through skits. And you laugh at this woman? We noticed you had all been bullying each other and making fun of everything constantly. So we invite a woman with straight gray hair in a denim dress with a wrist cast and homemade puppets that all have the same voice to teach you about bullying through skits. And you ha, laugh it up. What was so funny about that woman? I want to know. What was so funny about when she couldn't fit the box of puppets back into the trunk of her Dodge Neon? What was so hilarious that you all ran to the windows? Well, you all missed a valuable lesson on the danger of cliques. What's a clique? It's when a group of people hang out together. Oh, you mean like having friends? No. Because these people make fun of other people. Oh, you mean like having friends?
And Twister. My older brothers would never let me play when they played basketball, colored circles. Left leg broken. Should've let me play. I said I'm a big family, 8 kids. We had to call our stuff in the house every day. You call your possessions, clean your territory. Like if you got it from your chair to make a sandwich, you had to clean it. I call it a chair. I call it a chair. It's my chair. I call that a chair. Hey, when I get it back, that's mine because I call that a chair. I didn't realize this only worked at home. I thought this was a universal system, you know. My first day in school was very strange. I call this stas. My teacher's like, yes, we all do, Brian. Grabbing onto it. I don't know why we did it at home anyway, because my older brothers always took whatever they wanted. But we're all getting in the car, they knew where I was going to sit. So I pretend like I wanted that. Back seat in the middle, my feet on a hump. I call it, get off the hump. Hey, my hump. I believe the hump is mine. I think my parents were kind of worried about me. He's calling the hump, Walt. You shouldn't want the hump. As long as they ain't fighting. Hump's good, right around. Oh, the hump's good, yeah. You like the hump. I love the hump. I'm the hump boy. I'm riding the hump at Disney World. We would go on vacation in our station wagon. We had a big giant station wagon. We had a front seat, back seat, a little tiny seat in the back that faced the opposite direction. The 2 kids in the back had a completely separate vacation from everybody else. Because the middle area is just loaded to the ceiling. Kids in the back were sat there the whole time, just looking around. I wonder what all these signs say. You spend most of the trip trying not to make eye contact with the cars that came up close behind you. You're looking at, oh, he's looking at his shirt. Oh, there he is, okay. My parents are great. They always wanted us to experience different things. Like all the other kids went to school on their bikes, and my dad maybe go to school on a pogo stick. Anybody else? Anybody else? I was always late, and I was at a basket on there. Keep stopping to get the books. We spent a lot of time out in the yard, too. My parents would just send us out in the yard every once in a while for no reason. Okay, kids, out in the yard. Okay. Stay out in the yard. Okay. You know what to do. Just looking around. What'd you guys do yesterday? We just stayed out in the yard. Just stayed out there. Stayed out in the yard. You find stuff to do, though. Anything can end up being a toy for a kid, including the sun. We used to try to see how long we could stare at the sun without stopping. I don't recommend this. But I remember we did it. I remember my brothers going, okay, Brian, record's 5. Record's 5. Ready? Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. about to stop. Just about to find another activity. That's not a good activity. That's what we were supposed to come up with. That's the language my mom used with us, you know. We're 4 years old. Come up with a good activity. And we're like sitting in mud. Is this a good activity? Activity? One of our activities is making bike ramps out in the street. Because that's where all the cars are. You put a cement block out in the middle of the road, you angle a piece of wood up to it. The object was for one kid to get on his bike, ride as fast as he could, and see how high he could go. And that's as far as we planned. It wasn't until the first kid was like flipping in the air. What happens now? We don't know. He hit a mailbox. We had a bunch of 90-year-old paramedics running up. We didn't know what to do. Get up there. Oh. Get some leaves. You do what you can. Hey, that was the easy part. The hard part was being the kid that got sent in first to calm mom down before you dragged in the actual banged up brother. You'd have to be the point man, you know? Go tell mom. Oh, no. It's your turn. Oh. So you'd have to run in. Hey, mom. Oh. Okay. Everything's fine. You know, she bought that. Yeah. Everything's fine. I just want to run in at full speed and, you know, say hi and okay, so, oh, you know Kevin. Oh, okay, of course, okay. You know, like his right arm, usually it bends. Usually it would bend like that. Okay, it's not bending like that right now. And it's no big deal because we already looked at it, but we were thinking, since you said that you had to go get milk later anyway, so we were thinking since you have to go anyway, then we were all thinking if when you go, if you just might want to take him to the hospital. And if you get peanut butter, get smooth.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to the same item, current price and qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
It's time for the Great Haircut Sale at your local Great Clip Salon. Your chance to get a great haircut at an even greater price, just $9.99. And money's not all you'll save at Great Clips. When you use online check-in, you can save time too. So download our app today and hurry in for the $9.99 Great Haircut Sale at Great Clips. It's gonna be great. For a limited time at participating salons.
The $9.99 Great Haircut Sale runs May 17th through May 23rd. Visit our Hampton Roads and Peninsula area salons.
Military families. Verizon is offering a discount of $15 off your monthly internet bill with a Fios 1 or 2 gig plan. Plus $400 off select Samsung products on them when you spend $800 or more on an eligible item at Best Buy. Because Verizon is proud to serve those who serve. Visit your local Verizon store or call 1-833-VERIZON to learn more. Terms apply.
My wife was so amazingly strong and brave during this whole experience. For 3 months after the surgery, she couldn't eat solid foods. And our friends would send us the most delicious food she couldn't eat. So I found myself hiding the food and secretly eating it. It's like a whole new eating disorder for me. Am I supposed to feel shame because I'm helping my wife? Really, I'm a hero. She mostly ate Jell-O. Jell-O, you know what they make Jell-O out of? Bones and hooves. I always thought that was an urban legend. Bones and hooves. What kind of madman? Let me have the bones and hooves. I've got an idea for a kid's dessert. It'll be huge. We'll get Cosby to do the commercials. Everyone trusts him. Anyone using the eyeballs, I can make an abacus. I've got tons of ideas. They say laughter is the best medicine, and it is after you've received real medicine from a real medical professional. Prior to that, you don't want any laughter. You don't want a doctor giggling during an exam. Oh my gosh, this is your body? Oh, nice man boobs. My wife had a surgery in New York City at a hospital named Mount Sinai. I've noticed that a lot of hospitals in the U.S. are either named after saints or ancient places in Israel, which is not that reassuring when you think about it. It's like, hi, welcome to our hospital. We're all about science, which is why our building is named after the place God talked to Moses as a burning bush. Over here's our cast for the Ghost Wing. Next to our astrology center. Do you like UFOs? We love those. We're all about science. Spent 2 weeks in the hospital. People that work in hospitals are truly amazing people. They are so nice and supportive. It makes you suspicious, right? Are they stealing the drugs? They're a little too excited to be around sick people in pajamas. And when I say sick, I'm not talking about the positive slang, right? Because that's part of our language, right? That jacket is sick! But you don't want a medical professional to be like, your test results are sick! I mean, let me clarify, you're dying. It's gotta be hard to work in a hospital. That hospital lighting, everyone looks sick in that hospital lighting. I walked in and I'm like, we should get you to the ER. I'm just here to see my wife. Well, you have jaundice. See, compared, oh my gosh, I have jaundice too. We all have jaundice. When my wife would nap, I'd go to the cafeteria. Hospitals have the most cutting-edge medical equipment, but they're still serving food like it's Shawshank Redemption. How about selling an MRI machine and getting a pasta station? Jim, you're a monster. There's different sections in hospitals. There's the emergency room, the intensive care unit, which sounds scary, but I don't know why anyone would want to stay anywhere but the intensive care unit. It kind of implies the rest of the hospital's like, look, we care, but we're not going to be a spaz about it. I get a phone call, I'm going to take it, right? We're like the mediocre care unit, which is better than we couldn't care less unit. Those guys are horrible.
I went to an herbalist. Nice lady. This herbalist lady, she said to me, are you a vegetarian? Not in the strictest definition. Like, I'm trying to be a vegetarian. Like, I don't eat veal, but he grows up. I'll kill him on the front lawn. He's gotta go. Actually, I don't eat veal because it gave me nightmares. I dreamt the mother cow came into the restaurant while I was eating veal parmesan. She walked in, have you seen Timmy? I'll help you look for him. Let me get a doggy bag. So, no veal. And I used to love lamb. Lamb chops, Cheetos, my favorite. Oh, lamb. My friend owns a farm. I walk to the farm, he has livestock. He just feeds me there as a whole. And falls asleep in my arms. I love lamb. He says to me, he fell asleep. It trusts you. It has very poor judgment. Hell no! I'll see them at McDonald's. So this herbalist lady, she was healthy. She really was. She was in her 50s. She looked 30. She was doing something right. So I wanted to listen and learn. But she said to me, I want you to cleanse your system. So for the first month, I want you to juice. To juice. What? Juice is not a verb. What do you want me to do? She just wanted me to have juice to eat. That's it. Just juice. She sold me a juicer. I thought it was a wood chipper. You can juice stuff I didn't know had juice in it. And I can't have just juice. I don't do well. Third day, I juiced a ham. up? How you doing? I'm juicy. Let me get this Krispy Kreme in here. We'll be good to go. Every herbalist is obsessed with the fact that people have a blocked colon. I don't know how much science there is behind it. I walked in and she said, "You have a blocked colon." Horrible visuals came to mind. How are we going to unblock this bad boy? Here, attach this to your garden hose. Lady, I have neighbors. I'll get a letter from the Homeowners Association. Please do not clean your colon on front lawn. Signed, all of us. She said, no, it's very easy to cleanse your system. She said, you're juicing, right? Take these herbs, put them in the juice 3 times a day. After a month, your colon will be clean. I don't know what was in the herbs, but I called her an hour and a half later from the bathroom. Hey, crazy lady. I'm sending back the rest of the herb. Mission accomplished. My colon is clean. I swallowed a quarter when I was 7. $50 came out. My ass hit the jackpot. When I walk, I whistle now. Listen to this.
ActiveCampaign is the marketing automation platform built for big swings and big dreams. With intelligent suggestions powered by AI and your data. Generate ideas in seconds, import your brand, and create full campaigns with simple prompts. Send personalized messages backed by real-time feedback, smart segmentation, and effortless reporting that tracks every win. Let's redefine what's possible together. Get started for free at ActiveCampaign.com.
Everyone has a fave Wendy's Frosty flavor. And when you're choosing from chocolate or vanilla, it's not that hard. But now there's all new Frosty Swirls and Frosty Fusions. So try picking your fave from Oreo Brownie Fusion, Pop-Tarts Strawberry Fusion, Strawberry Swirl, Brownie Batter Swirl, Caramel Swirl, and Caramel Crunch Fusion. Not so easy now, huh? For a fresh way to Frosty, gotta be Wendy's.
Participating U.S. Wendy's. Oreo is a trademark of Mondelez International Group. Pop-Tarts is a trademark of Kellogg North America Co. LLC. Used with permission.
Hey Spotify, do you drive a diesel? If so, it's finally time to say goodbye to clogged diesel particulate filters and incomplete regeneration cycles with Rizlone DPF Clean, our most advanced DPF cleaner. This formula helps your diesel vehicle restore lost power and performance, unclog your blocked DPF, turn off your check engine light, and clear P242F and similar OBD codes. Tap to learn more.
One of the best moves ever that's ever been invented by whoever invented it is where you rub her back, and then you apply a little forward pressure, a little nudge. You know what I mean? A little come on bouncy. I got a friend I'd like you to meet. You know, a little. And the key word is nudge. You nudge, and then let Jesus take the wheel. That's all you do. And that's how you know. Like you nudge, and if you got a hold of a good one, she'll buckle like a folding chair at a Little League game. But if you get resistance, back off. You know what I mean? Chivalry's not dead. You don't keep pushing until your arm shakes and just like, all right, here we go. P90X. Turn your hat around, it's like a switch. You don't do that. I think the misconception is that women get mad at you know, I've gotten a girl, she was mad at me because I wouldn't have sex with her so much. She was mad at me for when we were in a relationship. I want to have sex with you. I don't just want to have sex. I want to have sex with you. I can have sex anywhere, but I want it with you. Basically, you have something that I love, and I've agreed to only get it from your store. And that means you can't go shutting the store down for 3 or 4 weeks at a time. The supply must meet the demand. If you shut the store down, open up some other locations. All right, that's the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much.
Tommy Johnny, everybody.
13 years old, my mom dropped me off to get a sports physical, and I went to the gynecologist's office on accident. And they don't do that there. I don't know if you guys have ever looked at the menu, but that doesn't happen. I walked into the wrong door is what happened, and that's my fault. What happened after that, not my fault at all. I go up to the counter, and I go, I'm Tommy Johnigan, I'm here for my appointment. And the woman was either too stupid or hilarious. Just goes, here, fill out this form. I, a 13-year-old boy, filled out a form at a gynecologist's office. Sure, I had to skip over a few questions. There were a couple not applicables on there. I sat in the waiting room for a half an hour, just me and a bunch of pregnant women, and that still didn't give it away. I was like, oh, you guys play volleyball? What's going on? Marsupial team? So, finally a nurse comes out and she goes, Mr. Johnigan, you can come back. Mr. Johnigan, you can come back. Maybe the first time she had said anything like that, and it didn't come to her mind. She takes me to the back the whole way, and she weighs me, asks me a few questions, and finally she goes, why are you here today? And I said, I'm here for a sports physical. To which she replied, this is an OBGYN's clinic. Did you know that? And I said, yes. Because I thought if I said no, I would look stupid and get embarrassed. And I don't want to be embarrassed. I'm going to play along. Yeah, I know it's an OB gym, or whatever you just said. I'll just put my legs right up here and we'll get started. I like the artwork. I forgot that I even did that until it just occurred to me one day that somewhere in a gynecologist's office, there's a file with my name on it, and my weight, and a question mark next to are you menstruating? I was like, yeah, I'm 13. I menstruate all the time. But I do it in my own home with the door locked. Why is that even on here? Is my mom gonna find out about this? Does this make our insurance go up? Because if you were to rate how much one menstruates, I would be at risk right now. I did get a sandwich from room service a couple weeks ago. I got a sandwich. The only reason I'm telling you, I got a peanut butter jelly sandwich, and it was $25. I know. That's a lot of money. They sold it to me because they were like, hey, this sandwich has 3 slices of bread, like a club sandwich, and it goes bread, peanut butter jelly, bread, peanut butter jelly, bread. Oh, I'm in, right? They bring it to me, and it goes bread, peanut butter, bread, jelly, bread. Oh, no. You put a barrier between the, and it was $25. It didn't come with anything. For $25, it better come with like a tall milk and a $20 bill. I don't care. Use that as the middle piece of bread. That way I'll be like, oh, you screwed me on this, and I'll take a bite and be like, oh, I see what happened. Yeah. That was so expensive that I told people how much I paid for that sandwich for like a month. I would just tell everybody I talked to, but I didn't just come out and tell them I paid $25 for a sandwich. I would be like, I would make them guess. Like they was on a game show and they didn't even know it. You know what I mean? If you buy expensive things, you want to play around with it. I was like, how much would you pay for? And the reason you do that is because it makes you feel good when people guess low. You know what I mean? And then if they don't guess or they guess high, it's like, oh, it works. But I would be like, and here's the most common answer. They're like, oh, $14. That's $14. And then I'd laugh in their face like they were a fool. $14. I'd buy 2 at that price. Then it would suck, and I'd be like, how much would you pay for a peanut butter jelly sandwich at room service at 1 o'clock in the morning? Well, I wouldn't get one. Don't be a dick about it. Just toss out a number. That's how this works. How much would you pay for PB&J at room service? Well, what else do they have? This isn't about... I'm not ordering you something. I mean, there's a specific sandwich. $40. Do you hate me? Do you hate me? Is that why you did that? I do. That's what I do. I'm alone in hotels. I have to order peanut butter jelly because it's the best sandwich in the world, and not a lot of hotels have that. When I was in a relationship, the girl would make them and she would cut them diagonally. That's the best because you start from the corner. If you start in the middle, you get some on your cheek there and you look like a child. I gotta find a girl that'll do that. My mom bought my school clothes from yard sales all the time. We lived in a very small town. I make fun of it a little bit. It's worse than a big city. If you live in a city, you go to yard sale, people make fun of you because you're poor. Yard sale clothes, baby, is what they would probably call you. But you go to a school with yard sale clothes in a small town, and they'll be like, that's Mike's shirt. Mike's like, that is my shirt. And I'm like, listen here, Mike, your mom told you to set aside the clothes that you wanted to put in a yard sale. And if you didn't, she was just going to grab a bunch of stuff. Did you? No. My mom got there at 4:45 in the morning. So you're damn skippy. She's going to get the good stuff, Mike. My dad bought my school clothes at a Goodwill one year. The one year he had to buy them, he bought my school clothes at a Goodyear. Goodyear. Yeah, I was dressed in tires for a whole year. It's just me. I look like a hee-haw character for 1 year of my life. That Goodyear was the worst year of my life. I will tell you this. Just me and the Michelin babies running around, acting like things were normal, you know? Sure, kids can be mean, push me down a hill, I'd roll to the bottom. But you know what I did? I stood up and I dusted myself off. And I'm here today. I don't know what's happening. So, the actual story's not even going to be good. My dad bought my school clothes at a Goodwill, which is a place that you take used tires. So we go to a Goodwill and we buy my school clothes. 3 outfits, 3 ugly shirts, 2 pair of little boy jeans, and 1 pair of little girl jeans that fit perfectly on my slender frame. I swear to God. And they weren't girl jeans in the sense of the buttons on the wrong side. They were girl jeans in the sense that they were tight with a flare and they had stripes going all the way around them. I come out of the dressing room, I'm like 6 or 7. I'm like, well, obviously, this isn't happening. This is what you wear to cheerleading practice. My dad goes, those aren't girl jeans. Those are cool jeans. I'm not buying your lies, old man. These are girl jeans. I'm not being ungrateful. Sure, they went with every blouse I owned. I'm just saying, I'm a kid, and you could scar me at this age. But he bought them, and he made me wear them, and he kept telling me they were cool pants, and I kept telling him they were girl pants. To the point of I was like, I bet if you called the school and told them you were girl pants, Dad, they would know who you were. They're like, yeah, we're gonna go get him. He's wearing his heels, so it's gonna take a minute. Give him a second. He's got bunions. Little baby bunions. I think that's gonna be a bonus track. There's no way that can be on the CD. The worst part is, if you guys hadn't laughed, I wouldn't have noticed that I said Goodyear.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Make every moment magical this wedding season with the help of FedEx Office. Whether you're looking for essentials like menus and table cards, statement pieces like backdrops and posters, or branded gifts like tumblers and notebooks, we've got all the solutions you need to make planning their big day a breeze. FedEx Office is your go-to spot for wedding season. Get started today at office.fedex.com.
Ugh, don't you hate interruptions? Like when heartburn hits at the worst time? For fast relief on the go, stock up on Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews at Walmart. Stash them in your gym bag, tool belt, or with a snack. No water, no chalky taste, just fast relief. Anytime, anywhere. Hit pause on heartburn and hit play on your day with Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. Use as directed. Now, where were we?
Abby and I were living together, and I was experiencing a lot of anxiety, which is strange, because we were very much in love. I mean, I had fallen for Abby from the moment we met, because she had this big, beautiful smile. Like, it seemed like her teeth were bigger than her head, but in a sexy way. And I kept running into her on campus because I was following her, and I was scared. I'd say, hey, we should hang out sometime, like not by mistake. And she would say no, which was hot also, because I knew she was sensible. Eventually, I wore her down. I tricked her. That's how you get the best
Bulgur,
ones. She
Gloria
said no
Roba.
so many times I threw an off-speed pitch. I said, hey, we should go to church sometime. I hadn't been to church since the tumor, but it had worked, you know. And so that way, if the date doesn't go well, maybe we'll get something out of the homily. My sense of humor hadn't yet matured, but neither had hers, and so it worked. And so we went to church on our first date. I remember this very well because it was raining, and I remembered to bring an umbrella, so I was able to walk her home in the rain. And she held onto my arm, and it was the happiest I'd ever been. I got back to the computer lab in my dorm, and I wrote an email to my brother Joe. I said, I just went out with the girl I'm going to marry. Abby had to convince me to have sex for the first time. It was like a reversal of the abusive boyfriend from those 80s high school movies where the girl's like, Devin, I can. Devin's like, but you can.
Ah.
Well, she was Devin, and I was Molly Ringwald, and I was always afraid of sex in high school. I was one of those kids, I didn't even understand the concept of sex. When people started having sex, I was like, people we know are having sex? But how? You know, that is not who you want to be in high school, I'll tell you. My nickname in high school was the math jockey, and what's sad about that, among other things, is that I wasn't good at math. Which means I just looked like I was good at math, which means I was not the sex jockey. So Abby and I decided that for our first time we're going to go to a bed and breakfast because nothing alleviates the fear of having sex for the first time like a really elaborate plan. And we went to this place, it was called the Philip Smith House, and it was run by these two gay men named David and Leon, and it was a really cute partnership because David cooked breakfast and Leon screwed David. I'm not sure of the specifics. It seemed that way, but I lost my virginity at the Philip Smith House, and it was very clunky and awkward, and then we stared at each other in disgust. But we were in love, you know, and the first time you fall in love, it's such a transcendent feeling, you know. It's like eating pizza-flavored ice cream, and your brain can't even process that level of joy. And love makes people do crazy things, like kill people or shop at Crate and Barrel, and it just makes us all a little delusional. I really think that. I think our whole lives, no matter how low our self-esteem gets, there's some part of us that thinks, I have a secret special skill that no one knows about. And if they knew, they'd be amazed. And eventually we meet someone who's like, you have a secret special skill. And you're like, I know. So do you. And they're like, I know. And then you're like, we should eat pizza ice cream together. And that's what love is. It's this mountain of pizza ice cream and delusion.
Now, so I'm not going to be part of the super rich. And I have news for you. You're not either. And they don't do this. They don't come out to the ass end of Cleveland and sit in the dark and listen to jokes. They do different things. They summer. They summer. They summer. Do you summer? I don't summer. Summer happens, and I deal with it. Just stay in the shade and walk slow. No, they buy all white, a whole white wardrobe on Memorial Day. It goes summer. I can't wear white. I bought a white shirt last year. I sweat through it in 20 minutes. It looked like I was smuggling turkey gravy under my armpits. Yeah, I should have thrown it out. I spent $20 for it at Old Navy. I'm going to wear it. I just kept my arms in the rest of the season. No, we don't summer. We don't wear all white. My family doesn't have parties in the middle of a wheat field. We don't have a dining room table in the middle of a field where food just falls from the heavens. and everyone's beautiful, and the dad stands up and quotes Shakespeare, and everybody laughs because they get it. That is not my family. We go to my sister's picnic table, we eat egg salad sandwiches, we push grandma in the kiddie pool, and her tit pops out. That's what we laugh at. That's what we get. Oh, grandma, your titteth is poppeth out. To be or not to be in a home. I say we keep her, she's hilarious. Put sponges in the toaster, who does that? Look, there's nothing wrong with making money, right? You want to make money, you have to make money. I'm not saying you want to be poor. We've all been there, right? When I started comedy out of college, I made $5 a night, in New York. I needed the money. It was fun times, but everything smelled like hot dogs, everything. I did, my girlfriend did. It was like, are we making hot dogs again? No, that's us. We gotta get jobs. This is not working out. We smell weird.
What's up, everybody? Charles Barkley here with my little computer buddy, Chuck GPT.
What's up, Chuck IRL?
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my best in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff. Dome breeze, how many ounces in a gallon. I even know the capital of Peru. It's Lima, y'all.
No, man. What do you know about the playoffs?
Everything. The stats, the rivalries, the tastiest snacks at every arena.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yup. Chuck GPT knows it all. Even Chuck's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
Iguanas.
Man, those things are scary.
Right now, new customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook.
21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets and expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate for 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
I just don't want to look stupid. You know the ultimate in looking like an idiot? It's when you walk into a spider web, right? Because nobody else sees that spider web. They just see you walking off in the distance, suddenly flipping out for no reason whatsoever. You're just walking along, everything's fine, all of a sudden, no! Ah! Hey, did you see that guy? He just snapped. He was walking along and just went nuts through that tree. Look, he's still going. I don't know what happened to him. It's the same thing when a little bee starts chasing you around. Nobody sees the bee, they just see you, just kind of brush them. Oh. People off in the distance. Hey, is that guy waving to us? Hey, how you doing? No! Ah!
It would have been weird if you didn't clap, I guess. If I walked out and you're like, well, let's see. Let's see how fat this bastard got. And the answer is fatter. I gave up a long time ago. Now it's like it's happening to someone else. Oh, someone should do something. I feel like I'm witnessing a forest fire. I hope they can contain it. Change the channel. This is real. This isn't a prosthetic. I did it myself. It's organic. I am a fat guy. There's indications. I've caught myself unconsciously covering my stomach with my arm. That's a total fat guy move. Now I'm thin. Can't see my belly. Fat, thin. Maybe I hope people will look at me and think, is he holding a baby? Oh, he's thin and nurturing. Oh, fella. I know these pants are tight. That's a little gift for the ladies. And some of the fellas. Can't control who I turn on at this point. These pants are tight, but after I wear them for a week, they look fine. That's my approach with clothing. Eventually the clothes go, all right, I'll adjust. You can get bigger pants, or I can just stretch out. Whatever works for you, Jim. By the way, this shirt, when it's untucked, goes down to like here. It's frightening. It's so long. I look at it on my bed, I'm like, is that my shirt or a sleeping bag? It's huge. But then when I put it on, I'm like, it's a little tight. Am I going rollerblading? But I don't care. That's unbelievable. Because that's our go-to, right? When there's something we can't control, we just act like we wouldn't want it anyway. I don't care. Who'd want to be thin? Who'd want to look healthy and attractive? Everyone.
It's so hard to say it, but darling, let's face it. These feelings are feeling cannot be ignored.
I'm the friendly Latino. Thank you. I'm not the Latino that gets in your face. Hey, Latinos!
Ooh.
We think fried. But I can do some Latino impressions if you guys would like to see some. I can do a few here. Ready? Okay. Here's a Latino Pauly Shore. Here we go. Hey, buddy, chorizo con huevos. Yo soy de Chihuahua. Muy loco. Spanish, Jerry Seinfeld. Here we go. Spanish Jerry Seinfeld. Oye, Jerry. Judy está loca. Oye, Kramer, por favor, tú estás loco. ¿Quiénes son estas personas? No sé. Columba. Spanish Johnny Carson. There you go, Spanish Johnny Carson. Here's aquí está Juanito. Hola, buenas noches. Yo soy Johnny Carson. Mi amigo se llama Ed McMahon. Hola, Ed, ¿cómo estás? Sí, Él era macho borracho pendejo. Estúpido.
A history of winning began with losing sweat until a breakthrough in hydration science at the University of Florida brought Gatorade to athletes everywhere. Gatorade hydrates better than water, so you can sweat more, win more. Gatorade, is it in you?
What's up, everybody? Charles Barkley here with my little computer buddy, Chuck GPT.
What's up, Chuck IRL?
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my best in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff. Dog breeds, how many ounces in a gallon. I even know the capital of Peru. It's Lima, y'all.
No, man. What do you know about the playoffs?
Everything. The stats, the rivalries,
Oh.
the snacks at every arena.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yup, Chuck GPT knows it all. Even Chuck's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
Iguanas.
Man, those things are scary.
Right now, new customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at fanduel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Advertising on Spotify is easy. You just write a script, pick your background music, then let us create your ad for free. It's that easy. Learn more at ads.spotify.com.
I'm from Tennessee, I almost said it, but I live in New York now, lived there for like 8 years. I like it, I don't know, it's fun. You know what I miss though about this? I miss being around like Walmart. I like a nice Walmart. Like, it's like headquarters. Like, me and my family agreed if we ever get lost, we will just meet at a Walmart and either find each other or just start over with a new Walmart family. Either way, it's win-win. A lot of people don't like Walmart because it's like big business, right? Like, it kills the mom and pop shops. But really, Walmart, like, they were a mom and pop shop at some point, and then they got their act together and became unbelievable. I was like, I'll just ride these guys out. They're always open. Mom and pop shops close for no reason. You go in there like, why are you closed today? Like, we're sad. You're like, all right. Walmart, you could shoot the entire staff. It would be an hour of confusion. They'd be up and running again. Yeah, that's how great Walmart is. Nice system. They have a good system down there. There's a lot of Kmart's in New York, and I do look down on Kmart. Like, I think I'm better than Kmart. That's where I'm a Walmart guy. I'm in the middle. I'm not Target. I'm not some jerk, and I think I'm better than everybody. I am just right in the middle. No one likes Kmart. They don't even look open when you go in there. You're like, oh, you guys about to close? What's that? You're open 24 hours. Really? Really? Oh, man. Are y'all going to cut the lights on in the back? Or... I went in there, like, you ever go to a store and, like, you think someone works there because whatever, they're wearing just matches everybody else? Like, I kind of did that. I was mean. All right, what happened? I walked up to this guy, and I was like, hey, man, do you know where the razors are at? And then the guy was like, what? I don't work here. So I looked at what he was wearing, and he had a football jersey on. It couldn't have been more obvious that he did not work at Kmart. So basically, I just judged his face. And I figured he had a Kmart face. It was like weird. Even when he was like, I don't work here, I was like, come on, man. Like, you probably have an idea of where they're at. Where would you put them if this was your Kmart? Where should they go? This is that.
I'm going to end with the story that is the most awkward thing that has ever happened to me since I started writing in my secret public journal. A few years ago, I was asked to perform at the MVP Awards for Major League Baseball. And I don't know why. I still don't know why. I mean, maybe they had heard about my work as backup right fielder as an economy paint supply, but I showed up, and I'm assuming that I'm going to be some kind of sideshow or pre-show. They have me seated on the stage in between Dennis Eckersley, Roger Clemens, Dontrell Willis, Alex Rodriguez, and we have a lot to talk about. We're hashing out our multi-million-dollar contracts and paternity suits and performance-enhancing drugs and. The people running the event had asked me to tell some jokes about baseball, and I was like, I don't know if that's such a good idea, because those people are here. Well, they insisted on it, and so I got up and I said, you know, it's exciting to be here because I grew up in Boston, and I remember as a kid going to a baseball card show and paying $8 for Roger Clemens' autograph. And I'm sitting next to him now, and he tried to charge me $13. And he didn't laugh at all. But other people did, so I was 1 for 1. And then there were a lot of baseball writers there, so I said, you know, what's interesting about sports writers is they don't know how to play sports, and most of them don't know how to write. And they didn't laugh at that either, but other people did, so I was 2 for 2. I tell a few more jokes about baseball. I say thank you. I didn't have to apologize. And I sat down and I'm like, oh, I'm in the clear. And the event continues and I realize that I have to pee. But I'm on the stage, so if I get up, it's gonna look like I'm making a statement about whatever's going on at that moment, like, I hate RBIs, or I don't know, whatever. So there's no universal symbol for I have to pee, you know, like you can't just like point at your crotch and just be like, you know. And that's what it would be if there was one, but so I choose the most boring part of the night, the Lifetime Achievement Award for baseball writers, and I know. I'm in the future also, and I sneak off, and I'm peeing, and I think everything's gonna be okay, and I walk back in the room, and the recipient is finishing his speech, and he goes, you know, some writers may not know how to write, but some comedians don't know how to tell jokes. I think he was talking about me, and because all 1,000 people who were in the room simultaneously looked at my empty chair for my response, and I was not there, and so I kind of jogged back up on stage and like waved, like, hey, I'm a good sport, you know. And I even walked by the guy as he went to sit down, and I went to shake his hand, you know, as an act of goodwill, but he walked right by me. I know. I felt awful. And I sit down, and I look over at Clemens for affirmation, and he hates me too. I look over at Eckersley, and I go, Dennis. We were on a first name basis. I go, Dennis, did you see that guy snub me? And Eckersley goes, f him. I was like, yeah! Chalk up another save for the Eck! Here's where it gets bad. The event ends, and I'm with Joe Bags. I'm with my brother, Joe Bags, and I go, Joe, did you see that guy snub me on stage? And Joe says, Mike, didn't you see his speech? He's blind. Oh dear God. Not only had I insulted the blind guy, I had taunted him by trying to shake his hand. But the real evil one is Eckersley. Because he knew he was blind, and he still said f him.
Advertising on Spotify is easy. You just write a script, pick your background music, then let us create your ad for free. It's that easy. Learn more at ads.spotify.com.
A history of winning began with losing sweat until a breakthrough in hydration science at the University of Florida brought Gatorade to athletes everywhere. Gatorade hydrates better than water, so you can sweat more, win more. Gatorade, is it in you?
Some mornings call for a little extra comfort. Introducing Hardee's new home-style breakfast burritos with cheese, fluffy egg, crispy hash browns, breakfast sausage, bacon, and sliced ham in a warm tortilla served with a side of Texas Pete hot sauce. Home-style breakfast burritos, only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. My Rewards members get a free blueberry biscuit or sausage biscuit when you order on the app. Limited time only. Exclusions may apply by time of day. See app for terms.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior like beer. Enjoy responsibly. Calibrate 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
By the way, I'm in love. I just want to, for the record, I'm deeply in love. And for a lot of years, I was just a very lonely millionaire, and I did not know. I would just be lost in the world. Sometimes I would just drive my Lamborghini somewhere and leave it because I was so frightened, scared, and alone. I didn't know where I was going in the world. And then finally, oh my goodness, I finally meet somebody. And here's the thing, you want to check 5 boxes in a relationship. 5 things. You meet somebody that offer up these 5 things, don't let go. Hold on tight, hold on really tight, koala bear tight. Mindful, thoughtful, compassionate, collaborative, and caring. That's what I have. I'm so fortunate. And if you meet somebody who's mindful, thoughtful, compassionate, collaborative, and caring, don't fuck it up, okay? And you know what, I'm so happy in my relationship that I made a terrible mistake. I was so happy that I was like, you know what, I bet the internet's happy, so I should check. Let me see what the internet is rah-rahing about my relationship. And so, I don't Google myself, by the way, ever. I learned this lesson a long time ago. And here's the thing, if I do decide to Google myself, it's because I'm already in a rut, and to me, Googling myself is like cutting, okay? When I Google myself, I'm always like, okay, I'm gonna cringe. This is not gonna be easy to take. But I don't know, I think I felt hopeful that the internet would be like, oh wow, that's great, Dane Cook's happy, and I'm happy that he's happy. And so I searched, and then right away, I was crestfallen. I should not have done this, because the internet was saying some very, very mean-spirited things. And if you're wondering, like, why? What is the problem with my relationship? Internet doesn't like it because I'm 49, my girlfriend's 23. And the internet was, it was so, like, completely deranged, some of the things people were saying, that I finally was like, I gotta talk to my girlfriend about it, because I really want to share that I'm feeling this overwhelmingly depressed feeling. So finally we sat down in the kitchen, she was doing her homework, and I said to her, bedtime soon, Betty, let's talk before bed. I said, baby, I love you. And she said, oh, babe, I love you. I said, I love you so much. She said, I love you so much. And we were being kind of cheesy. And then I got emotional, and I said, I'm so in love with you. And I never said that to a woman in my entire life. I said, I love you, or I love you too. But I never told a woman, I am so in love with you. And she got even more touched by this. And then I got even a little sappier, and I said, where have you been all night? And then I remembered she wasn't alive for the first 26 years of it. A guy last night during the taping, he goes, "Oh, you're robbing the cradle." And I was like, let's relax. She hasn't slept in a cradle in like 9 years.
Wow. Man, that is a huge honor. I cannot thank you enough. I really appreciate it. Wow. New York City. It's the only city in the world where people say, please tell me the Pope is gone. Yeah, I don't know, man. New Yorkers, if you get in an elevator anywhere else in the world, people press lobby. You get in an elevator in New York City, people press lobby, door closed, 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 door closed. And if you've never seen that button, it's the one completely worn away.
Recently, I was invited to a surprise birthday party. It was a surprise birthday party for a dog. That's right, I have friends that are mentally ill. I went. It was in my apartment building, and I needed the material. And to be fair, the dog was surprised. Didn't suspect a thing. Dog didn't know it was his birthday. The dog didn't know it had a birthday. The dog wasn't sure why people were in the apartment. It was the dog's third birthday, which in dog years doesn't matter. Someone made that up and we just went along with it. Oh, 1 year equals 7 for doggies? Okay. When I see a dog, I'll do math. That's not fulfilling some dog need. You know, there's not a dog sitting in a bar right now. I'm not 3, I'm 21. I can legally drink. That's not how dogs keep track of time. If you have a dog, you know they don't keep track of time. You've left your home, forgotten something, walked back in, only to be greeted by your dog like you've just returned from war. It's a miracle! They're back after I don't know how long because I'm a dog! These poor dogs! We just attach these points of view on these poor dogs. Like dog is man's best friend. How desperate are humans? We're best friends, right? Dog's like, well, aren't we different species? But we're best friends forever. You know, you lock me in the house all day with nothing but a bowl of water. You think you let your best friend sit on the couch. We're best friends. Now put on this fireman's outfit. We're gonna do a photo shoot for Instagram. You know, sometimes when you sleep, I think about eating your face.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
A history of winning began with losing sweat until a breakthrough in hydration science at the University of Florida brought Gatorade to athletes everywhere. Gatorade hydrates better than water, so you can sweat more, win more. Gatorade, is it in you?
Some mornings call for a little extra comfort. Introducing Hardee's new home-style breakfast burritos with cheese, fluffy egg, crispy hash browns, breakfast sausage, bacon, and sliced ham in a warm tortilla served with a side of Texas Pete hot sauce. Home-style breakfast burritos, only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. My Rewards members get a free blueberry biscuit or sausage biscuit when you order on the app. Limited time only. Exclusions may apply by time of day. See app for terms.
I got a fire alarm at home, but really it's more like a 9-volt battery slowly drainer. Do you want to slowly get rid of your 9-volt batteries? Then buy this circle. I have no problem not listening to the Temptations, which is weird. Listerine hurts, man. When I put Listerine in my mouth, I'm fucking angry. Germs do not go quietly. If you're watching a parade, make sure you stand in one spot. Don't follow it. It never changes. And if the parade is boring, run in the opposite direction. You will fast forward the parade. Xylophone is spelled with an X. That's wrong. Xylophone X, I don't fucking see it. It should be a Z up front. Next time you have to spell xylophone, use a Z. And if someone says, hey, that's wrong, say, no, it ain't. If you think that's wrong, then you need to have your head Z-rayed. It's like X wasn't given enough to do, so they had to promise him more. Okay, you won't start a lot of words, but we will give you a co-starring role in Tic-Tac-Toe. And you will be acquainted with hugs and kisses. And you will mark the spot. And you will make writing Christmas easier. And incidentally, you will start xylophone. Are you happy, you fucking X?
I love doing comedy. There was a time I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit early on. I tried, and there was no one to quit to. No one. Here's why I do it. I think why. My dad is an entertainer as well. He's a magician. Still is a magician. Started as a clown. Just, you know, I don't want to come off like I come from some rich magic family. And I'm better than you guys. He paid his dues, his clown dues. It's weird when your dad's a clown. It's weird every day. I never trusted clowns, you know? Like, have you ever been yelled at by a clown? I have. Do you know how confusing that is to get screamed at by a guy who's got a smile painted on his face? You're like, is this not the same clown those kids are going to see outside? He was a clown until I was about 12 and 13. And that's about as long as you want your dad to be a clown. When you're 6 and 7, there's perks. Absolutely. By the time you get 12 and 13, kids at school are like, is he still doing that? You're like, off and on, all right, guys? Yeah, he's almost full-time magic, so... it's funny, too, when I tell people that my dad was a clown. There are people just like, oh, I hate clowns. It's like, hey, remember that time I just said my dad was a clown? I just said that. You're just like, I hate your father.
Thank you, guys. Nice to see you. So about 5 years ago, pretty much everyone who I know started to get married. And that was strange for me because I don't really believe in the idea of marriage. And that would have been fine, except I have a problem where sometimes when I think that I am right about something, it can be a real source of tension between me and the person I'm arguing with. And the reason it's a source of tension is that I'm right. And so I remember distinctly talking to my friend Dana, and she goes, well, you don't believe in marriage for you, but of course you believe in it for other people. And I was like, no, I think it's insane, for anyone. And she said, why? And I said, well, first of all, it just seems doomed. 50% of marriages end in divorce. That's just first marriages, by the way. Second marriages, 60 to 62% end in divorce. Third marriages, 70 to 75% end in divorce. That's a learning curve. Second of all, monogamy is impossible, or at very least, not a sure thing. When I say that, I think people assume that I'm implying that men are incapable of being faithful. I think women are just as incapable, but for more sophisticated reasons. You know, I mean, with men, we're just really simple, very simple sexuality. When I say that, my female friends are like, well, we like sex just as much as you do. And I say, sure, but it's different. And they say, how? And I say, have you ever masturbated while driving a car? Number 3, I'm never going to be happy. Why would anyone want to be a part of that? I think that's not brought up often enough. I didn't know that would be the reaction. Oh, no, that's the hopeful part. I had one ally in all this, which was my friend Andy, and he's a comedian as well. Not only did we decide we weren't going to get married, we actually tried to stop other people we knew from getting married. Yeah, we were pretty good at it. Like, we stopped or put on hold 3 or 4 marriages. You know, we were pretty good. I mean, we weren't like the best in the world. I'm sure they're better in Europe, but we were solid. You know, like, so like, for example, at one point my friend Alex was about to get engaged, and so we just took him to dinner. And during dessert, we gave him a long, hard stare. We said, are you sure this is what you want to do? And then we went cold to give him the sense of what it would feel like when we weren't friends anymore. So February 27th, 2007, I'm at Andy's house in Los Angeles, and earlier in the night, I got in an argument with my girlfriend on the phone. It was a bad one because I knew that I was right, and Andy was the perfect person to be with in this kind of situation because he's the kind of friend who just takes your side regardless of whether you're right. He says stuff like, she sounds crazy. Like, even if what she's saying isn't that crazy, like, you'd be like, she only eats whole wheat bagels. He'd be like, she sounds crazy. You'd be like, that's not even the crazy part, you know. Telling him about this argument, and he goes, you're right. I go, I know, I'm right. He goes, yeah, you're right. I go, I know, I'm right. I gotta tell her about this in the morning. And I get in my rental car to head back to my hotel, and I'm driving out of Andy's small road, and I'm T-boned. I don't know if you're familiar with this term. This is the culinary way of describing when you are hit by another car, driver's side, at a 90-degree angle, like a T-bone steak. And in 1.5 seconds, I'm spun around. I think I'm dead. No, wait, I'm paralyzed. And then I hear nothing. And then I hear the other car skid out and drive away. I know. Let me tell you how this argument started.
You're a pro. You can make a 5-ton HVAC condenser purr like a sleeping kitten. Weeds cower at your presence. The only thing cleaner than your clients' homes is your reputation. So why is a pro like you still stuck in the endless cycle of paperwork, scheduling, spreadsheets, and chasing invoices? Automate your office and get back to what you love with Jobber, the all-in-one tool that fits your entire office in your back pocket. Start your free trial today at jobber.com.
Ugh, don't you hate interruptions? Like when heartburn hits at the worst time? For fast relief on the go, stock up on Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews at Walmart. Stash them in your gym bag, tool belt, or with a snack. No water, no chalky taste, just fast relief. Anytime, anywhere. Hit pause on heartburn and hit play on your day with Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. Use as directed. Now, where were we?
Your next trip can be more than just a daydream. Travel now and pay later with no interest and no fees on select plans with the Marriott Bonvoy Bold Card. Learn more at marriottbonvoy.com/bold.
Restrictions and limitations apply. Offer subject to change. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC. Terms apply.
Military families. Verizon is offering a discount of $15 off your monthly internet bill with a fast, reliable Fios 1 or 2 gig plan. Because Verizon is proud to serve those who serve. Visit your local Verizon store or call 1-833-VERIZON to learn more.
I was a kid once. My dad, when I was 12 years old, told me he wasn't ready to be a dad when I was born. He goes, I just want you to know when you came along, I wasn't ready to be a dad. You probably shouldn't say that to your kid. You should never say that to your fourth kid, which is what I am. I swear to God. He said he wasn't ready to be a dad to his fourth child. You're not allowed. We gave you 3 warm-up babies before I even stepped on. I was raised by my mom most of the time. We didn't have a lot of money. I grew up with yard sale clothes, and I lived in a small town, so I took some heat, man. You live in a big city where yard sale clothes, people make fun of you. Like, oh, yard sale clothes, poor, or whatever they would say. You live in a small city, and they're like, that's Mike's shirt. Mike's like, that is my shirt. My mom's a sweetheart. She's a sweet lady, except I got this phone call. She called me one time, and as soon as I answered the phone, she goes, how long does cocaine stay in your hair? Okay. I think you're doing it wrong. I think you're doing it. Jesus, Scarface, what? I thought you went to church. She doesn't do it. It was a weird question. She told me I gotta go see my grandma. She goes, you have to go see your grandma. You know she's not gonna be around very much longer. Does grandma know that's how you drum up visitors? I come over, she's like, well, what brought you here? Clock's a ticking, Nana. I just came over to pick out some stuff I like. You all right with that?
Although I like the Daredevil thing, you know. I used to enjoy watching Evel Knievel. I feel bad for him now. He's a little older, he doesn't jump, but he always does these talk shows, and every time he does one, they want to show him that footage where he fell off the motorcycle and bounced around like 83 times. That's what they show him. Hey, do you remember that day, Evel? Oh, no, I don't remember. And they always ask him when he was thinking right before he hit the ground. What kind of question is that? What were you thinking right before you hit the ground, Evel? What were you thinking? I remember thinking, hey, did I turn off the iron? Then my leg cracked in half, and I was thinking, hey, maybe I should get a puppy. What do you think I was thinking? I was thinking, ah! Ah! Something like that, if I remember right. Let me go back. Yeah. Ah! I believe those are my thoughts. I hope I've crystallized them for you.
We're having an election in America, so there's bound to be some Americans that threaten to move to Canada. If that person gets elected, I'm moving to Canada. I don't remember Canada extending an invitation. It's like... And I've been coming to Canada for years. Been recruited 0 times. No one's ever called me, hey, you live in the States? You thought of making a move? He better stop with the clam jokes. It's getting too much. In my hotel, there's a youth hockey team staying there. There is a youth hockey team staying in every Canadian hotel. Are they allowed to go home? How long are these tournaments? Every time I'm in an elevator in a Canadian hotel, I feel like someone in the other room's like, send in the kids with the smelly hockey bags. There's not enough room. Just do it. Tell them we'll give them clam juice. That better be the last clam juice joke. But of course, the youth hockey league, that's all about the Canadian hockey dream, right? Parents drive their children all around Canada because there's the dream that maybe their child might be, just by chance, maybe the next Wayne Gretzky, right? And I'm here to tell you, it's probably not. There's only one great one, and I think he lives in Phoenix. Let's kill him.
And look, I wouldn't be so scared if I knew what happened after. Is this it? We just die and that's it? Nothing more? Nothing more? Or do we get to go to someplace even greater? This is a great party. You want to keep the party going? Do it? Yeah. But if there is someplace magical and better than this, how about a text? How about an email? Nothing. Nobody said. We search all the time and nothing. My little girl wanted to go to church for the first time. And we don't go to church. I believe, but I don't believe enough to ruin my Sundays. I can't totally not believe because I was raised Catholic and I'm terrified all the time. If you were raised Catholic, you know what I mean. You can't shake it. You're just, no. My wife was raised Catholic. She has the balls to completely not believe. She's like, the church is a patriarchal system to keep women down. It's bullshit. I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. But then on the side, I'm like, dear God, I'm sorry I live with this devil. I don't know how this heathen got in my bed. If we die at the same time, I'm totally cool with splitting up. Send her where you gotta send her, big guy. I'm coming with you. But my little girl wanted to go, and it makes sense, because the church is the coolest building in the neighborhood, isn't it? It's got spires and rainbow windows and bells ringing. She's like, I want to see the show that goes on in there. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's get dressed up and go to church. I'll take you. It felt right, like when I was a kid. So I put on a suit and tie. She dressed up like a little girl's version of a woman, which is hilarious. A little lipstick, you know. Everything's poofy. Poofy dress, poofy socks. Little heels this big. She can't even walk. She's like a billy goat on ice, just... But she thinks she's hot because she's carrying her purse filled with chapstick and pennies. You know? And I feel great, too, because I'm walking with the cutest puppy on earth. Everybody that comes by, oh, she's so cute. And I milk it. I'm like, I know, we don't have time for this. We're on our way to church. We're filled with goodness. Every Sunday. And we were having a great time. We were having a little date. She's yapping. We're holding hands. It's a great time. And she gets up the church steps. The door's open. She freezes, starts digging into my hand. She's shaking like a leaf. She's looking up at the giant, bloody Catholic Jesus hanging from the ceiling. And I realized we never told her the stories. She's looking at me like, this is a haunted house. We sit in the pew, it's all creaky and old people are petting her. Hello, little girl. She's holding her purse like a roller coaster rail, just two eyes. Terrified. And yet, it is a haunted house. You look through her eyes, and the rainbow windows from the outside tell the story of how he died, so it's all being stepped on and stabbed, and big thing where they christen the babies. Daddy, what's that? That's when we tell babies underwater the first time. Then this old lady gets up and starts crossing the altar on the way to the organ. I was like, oh no, not the organ. This is not gonna go well. And to say she's old is a compliment. She had been dead for years. It was like a wicked witch made out of beef jerky. She gets up to that organ, she reaches out her old lady talons, the veins are coming off like she's been attacked with silly string. She hits that organ, boom, boom. All I hear next to me is, I wanna go now! Oh, I don't like it here! Minnie Mouse is losing her marbles. Boom! I start laughing. I start that uncontrollable, you're not allowed to laugh, but you're laughing, so now you're snorting. Let's get out of here! Boom, boom. Then the headliner comes out. The priest comes down the aisle. I swear to you, he looked like Dracula. Long head, the hair all greased back, and he's in his robe, so it doesn't even look like he's walking. He's floating down the aisle. They're doing the whole smoke show in front of him. He gets to the microphone. Welcome, everybody, welcome. I fall out. I am laughing out loud. I'm laughing. She's crying. People are turning and shaking their heads. I mean, we gotta go. We gotta go now before this gets any scarier. Before he starts talking about drinking the blood of Christ, let's beat it. So we go running out the aisle, we get outside. Outside, birds are chirping, sun's shining. We sit on the steps, look at each other, just start laughing like, what the hell was that? And look, I don't know what God is or that spirit thing that we're always chasing, but whatever it is, we were so much closer to it on the sidewalk together than whatever was going on inside that haunted house. But we're not giving up. We're going to a black church next time, because that's where God really lives. I thank you guys so much. You guys were a wonderful crowd. Thank you.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies to same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
A history of winning started with the 1965 Florida Gators, losing steam and losing sweat in the Florida heat. The solution? A drink that hydrates better than water with a formula backed by science, so you can work more, sweat more, win more. Gatorade, fueling athletes for 60 years. Is it in you?
Hardee's original bag packs
ago, some white people come here, right? They got drunk and they start yelling, yee-haw! Say, hey, somebody need to take down that howley right there. It's stuck. I'm trying to figure out howley, all right? But anyways, you guys, we've been traveling so many places. We've probably been in about 14 countries in the last 2 months. Yeah. Shoot. We're like herpes. We go everywhere. Twice a year. Anyway, that's bad, I know, right? You guys are so close, man. Like, if I slip, that's it. His show was in 3D, but it hurt. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Well, the ultimate Joe Bag story came last fall when Joe decided that he wanted to buy a big screen TV for football season because Joe is an American. And Americans deserve to watch football games where the size of the players on the screen is the actual size of the players on the field. So Joe's all ready to buy this TV, and then Joe remembers that he has a wife. But he also remembers that he has a brother who has no wife and no qualms about making irrational purchases. So Joe's brother, or me, agrees to buy the television under the condition that Joe orders it online, has it delivered to my apartment, gets it installed, and all under my name. You know, and so Joe goes online, he orders it, gets it delivered, and we turn on a football game. And I'd tell you more about the game, but any description of the event without express written consent of the NFL is strictly prohibited. I will tell you that one of the teams was another word for horsies, and the other was a word for orange Asian tigers. So we're watching horsies v. orange Asian tigers, and we notice these black lines running down the center of the screen, and for a second we think maybe these are an extra set of goalposts. But then we turn the channel and we're like, why would the Iron Chef need goalposts? We realize that the television that has been delivered is broken. And so Joe calls the online vendor, and for their anonymity, we'll call them Glamazon.com. And so Joe calls Glamazon and he's like, you sent us a broken television, not like a working one. And they're like, well, that's the manufacturer's fault. So Joe, you have to call them. So Joe calls the manufacturer. They're like, you have to call Glamazon. Glamazon's like, you have to call the manufacturer. They're like, you have to call Glamazon. And so finally, Glamazon says, we have a policy that we do not accept TVs back that are greater than 27 inches, and that's final. So Joe writes Glamazon an email as me. And he says, every week I write something called my secret public journal that I email to thousands of people and I read to millions of listeners on the radio, and I tell crazy stories about crazy stuff that happens in my life. Do you think this story might qualify? 15 minutes later, Glamazon wrote back saying they would make a one-time exception to their return policy, provided that I didn't mention their company by name. Glamazon.com, consider that promise kept.
A history of winning started with the 1965 Florida Gators, losing steam and losing sweat in the Florida heat. The solution? A drink that hydrates better than water, with a formula backed by science, so you can work more, sweat more, win more. Gatorade, fueling athletes for 60 years. Is it in you?
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. The message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/save.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Custom window treatments are a small upgrade that have a big impact. No better time to shop than now at Blinds.com's Memorial Day Mega Sale. Blinds.com invented a better way to shop for window treatments, completely online with upfront pricing, no showroom markups, no salespeople in your home. Choose from classic shutters to outdoor shades and more, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com's Memorial Day Mega Sale now. Save up to 50% site-wide, plus a free measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
I worked hard in rehab. I did what my counselors told me. When I first got there, my counselor asked me to write an autobiography of my substance use and abuse. I said, what do you mean? He goes, write all the big life points where you use drugs and alcohol. I said, you mean recently or starting at age 6? He said, did you start drinking when you were 6? I said, yes. And then he gave me more paper. I tried alcohol when I was 6. I don't mean I was at a bar having a Manhattan or something. We were allowed to try beer and wine. My dad told us when we were kids, he said, we have a European approach towards alcohol in this house. That was the only thing we had a European approach towards. Everything else we had a very Midwestern approach, including Europe. We're like, we're not going to that place. By the time I was 13, I got drunk every weekend. My friends and I would go out on the streets of Chicago, on Lincoln Avenue, and we'd stand in front of liquor stores and try to get adults to go in and buy liquor for us. This was always a very dramatic process. Because we were 13, we looked 9. We'd be sitting out there like little Charles Dickens urchins, just like, sir, please, sir, please. They'd sometimes try to give me money. I go, no, I give you money. And you buy me beer in this store. The one where the cashier is watching this entire exchange through the window.
Luna.
In 8th grade once, I said to my friend, we should only ask couples on dates. Because the guy will want to buy beer for us to look cool in front of the girl. I did not understand adult first date dynamics.
Ooh.
As if when he's dropping her off, she'd be like, you know, I wasn't sure about you in the beginning of the night, but when I saw you buy those 2 24-packs of Natty Light using quarters and dimes, and that 1 bottle of Boone's Farm for that really specific child, I was like, this guy might be a keeper. I started doing drugs when I was 14 with my 2 best friends, John and John. They're not me, they're other people. They were both named John. There was John O'Brien, John McNulty, and then me. My name is John Mulaney. And if you didn't know that, you were probably in rehab with me.
Please, please, please. Ugh. Huh.